Might as well get the headphones on.
Yeah.
Might as well pop the headphones on here. Well, where are you calling in from today, Justin?
I'm here in Atlanta
Yeah,
in a share working office. How about you?
I'm currently working out of a vacant apartment right now that's staged quite well in downtown Atlanta. Yes.
Nice. Good luck. I'm not too far. I'm Old Fourth Ward here.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Yes, looks great. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday. We are at episode 31 of the MultiFamily Weekend Update.
It's powered by the MultiFamily Media Network. I'm wearing their shirt today. See?
This is true.
Yes, it
Very
is true. I feel like our relationship with the Multifamily Media Network will kind of be a little bit like how The Simpsons treated Fox.
This is what it's going to be like. Yes.
And they're cool enough to take some jokes. So we just have to come up with a little ways to kind of poke fun at them. Slide some things in there every once in a while.
We will be doing that. Well, I'm excited, Justin, because I think we've adopted Restream right now to go live. We had plenty of hiccups with our previous technology provider. And as you know, it's sometimes challenging when you have technology that doesn't work and things fail. It ends up affecting your brand, and it was affecting our brand tremendously. So we ended up switching here.
Yeah, no, it's nice when things work. It's nice when things work. And there's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff happening. We're just in our first Friday of the month here in April, and it's already start of Q2. It's already busy.
Yeah. Q2 is off to a bang here. We've got NMHC actually announced something pretty big here. Everyone, the must read list.
Yeah, this is a time that people focus on, right? How things shifted among these companies, what companies might have moved off the list, what are not. It helps reprioritize, a lot of prop tech, a lot of other kinds of service providers that are looking to say, hey, who should I be working with that I wasn't working with before? So it's a big accomplishment. It's a big resource. There's a link to all of the top 50 managers, owners, etc. That you can check out.
Yeah, and were there any kind of major movers or shakers? Are you willing to spill the beans?
I mean, there wasn't a huge upset. I think, some people moved up or down. Jay Parsons has a nice little recap on kind of the big shifts. I think one of the things is there was multiple companies where even if they didn't move position in terms of where they rank on the list, they sorry, I got distracted by the shirt.
I'm throwing a curveball.
That's breaking news. But no, I think that even though if they didn't shift on the list, right, there was growth within the company. So they still moved, got more units than the last year, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of an indicator that our industry is growing, period, just at large.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of growing and kind of moving into new territory, our industry is not, how do I say this? we're used to going into politics, right? I mean, in multifamily, it's a very political thing because it involves all walks of life. Everyone rents, right? And John Bradford from Pet Screening has not shied away from his role of being a politician in North Carolina. He actually recently stepped down from that, and you might see him join us in a few weeks because we're going to talk with him about some of all that stuff, along with running Pet Screening. But today is about Jonathan Treble, CEO with me. He is making a run. He is he has announced his campaign for Arizona's first district. And I think that's great. In general, I think it's good that, everyone in multifamily, supports each other in trying to make changes, not only in our industry, but our communities, right? I mean, that's what it really comes down to, is building stronger, better communities.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got to speak to him yesterday, just briefly on the phone, which was nice to kind of catch up. And it's exciting. He looks, positioned to be successful there. I mean, it's going to be work. He's going to be in Arizona most of the time, which is different than sort of, how he's been running with me the past several years. He's still going to continue, being the head of that company, but he's obviously focusing on this. And to your point, Eric, coming off the heels of Advocate, a lot of people are active in politics, right? They're supporting, they're vocal, they're all, they're doing different things to advocate for this particular sector of the industry that affects government. And this is just sort of like an extension, right? He's doing way more he's getting in there. He's going to be on the other side. I guess if you're looking at it in our small little bubble, it's sort of similar to when somebody crosses on from a supplier or operator side, right? You're bringing all this knowledge from one side of the fence onto the other. That's very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
good luck.
I think we'll look great into positions, have some.
Yeah.
So speaking of, well, I got the wrong thing on here. Well, look at that. We're just gonna hide this here.
We'll just keep talking. But
we'll just keep talking.
Hey, we just rolled this out, so we have to get these kinks out. But as long as we're live, I'm happy.
There we go.
Willie Walker was recently on, I think this past week, on CNBC, speaking on behalf of our industry, kind of giving insight to sort of a larger audience on what are some of the issues surrounding privatization and rates within the industry. So that's a big deal. Multifamily does hit the news a lot of times in broad ways, but it's really great when people can learn more across our country, across the world, because it's an industry that I think people still don't totally understand.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm actually going to have to pop in the interview live here.
Well, there you go.
I'm learning here. I'm learning as we go. I'm gonna pop.
Look at you using technology. That's amazing.
Look at that. Yes. So if you want, you can scan the QR code there if it's available for you. You can scan that and actually check out his interview, the full interview on CNBC.
Oh, it went up there. I don't know which way I will go, but it's up this time.
Yes, it's up on the top left there. I think it depends on how I do things here with our screens. But and more announcements here. The Multifamily Media Network has released their Q1 recap.
Right. A lot of recaps about the quarter from thought leaders, from companies. This is great. It's a little different. There's a lot of strong thought leadership in there. We actually have a little. This is our shameless plug. We actually have a little piece in there that kind of recaps all of the sort of the news, the big news, the big headlines of the quarter. But there's a link to it, I believe, right, Eric, somewhere in your media bucket.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
I did not get the link. I did not find the link. But you know what? We got something coming up that could allow me to try to find that link.
Yeah, I have it here. I have it. I'll drop it in the chat.
Please do.
Yeah, there's the link to it. So you should check it out. But yeah, so end of Q1 goes into Q2. We're in April. April is many things. It's many things. It's spring. It's more pollen in Atlanta. It's all that stuff. But It's also Stress Awareness Month, which as Trevor Park kind of poked fun today. He doesn't really need a month to tell him to be aware of the stress that he has, which is true. But the point of this is to kind of bring awareness to how people manage stress. So, busy conference show season, lots of events, end of a quarter, trying to make up for maybe missed opportunities in Q1. You want to make it on the back end Q2. So people could be stressed. So this is a reminder to take moments, to take pauses, to take breath. And we're going to do that today, not for too long, but we're going to do it for about 30 seconds, I think. Right, Eric?
Yeah, 20 seconds and then I'll loop it.
Let's do 30. It's a good solid. People, don't shy away from actually taking the moment. Just breathe. We'll do the 30. We'll come back. Hope everyone felt their breath, took a deep breath into their core, and now we can get back to some more news. You're on mute, though, Eric.
I have some interesting news for you. As we work the kinks out here, Obi Insurance has come out with a brand new brand, if you will. They refreshed their brand. They're an insurance provider inside of MultiFamily. So I think it was pretty interesting to take a look at their brand rollout. I'm not going to show you the video. However, I can give you a link to it. But they announced their major update here on their brand. I'll pop it into the chat here.
Good stuff.
That's a heck of a link for you. That's actually a link to Ryan, Ryan, the co-founder and CEO's post. So I'm assuming you'll be able to take a look at this. But it is always a huge undertaking to be a brand that is well known and to relaunch and do a refresh. So kudos to the Obi team and the designers and all, everyone involved in redoing their brand.
Yes, that is not an easy task. As someone who sits alongside marketing folks at the kind of 55, 57-year-old plus prop tech company and kind of founder in this space, I see a lot of the MRI marketers deal with this and attack this, and it's a process. So congrats to Obi.
Yeah. Well done. Let's see what else I got for you here.
Events. A lot of event-related news, right?
Yes, this is true. This is true. The RETC recaps are happening. So that was in Denver, Dallas. Started with a D.
Yes. There was a lot of things that happened. There was a meetup, I think, a networking event in Denver this last week. But yeah, a lot of event focus. I think people are trying to figure out what to wear to some of these events, right?
This is true. Yeah. Sam from Rent Grata is trying to figure out what to wear at AIM. And I think really the only thing I think you can really wear, he's talking about learning about a Bravo themed bash here. So he was trying to figure out his suggestions and crowdsourcing the suggestions there, of course.
Do you have any early feelings for what people are saying most often?
Yeah, so far, Captain Jason or Captain Lee from the show Below Deck, which I want to get a photo of him on here, but I'm gonna try to do that here. Let me see if I can live swap some stuff here. I'm gonna do a little.
My knowledge of Bravo TV is this,
There we go.
like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, I can
Yeah,
see
so
it
this is
pulling
the
it up.
captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Okay.
this show called Below Deck. Frankly, I think a show about being on the ocean is definitely interesting, right? It's a different kind of life. Um,
Indeed. Well,
Sort
I
of
think,
multifamily-ish in a way as well, if you think
yeah.
about it.
And Rent Grata always does a good theme at these events, right? They use creativity and you get people engaged. I think I saw, at some event somewhere they did a Barbie thing, I think, and there was like a national park or camping one once. So we've definitely seen I guess for AIM you have to. Yeah, but they do it beyond AIM. So I'm just saying they go beyond just the marketing creativity at AIM. They bring that to all of their events.
Yeah, this is true. Well, Sam, hopefully you got your answer. I think you definitely crowdsourced the most comments for sure. Uh, you got you definitely got about 43 comments of what to wear. So well done, and hopefully you pick the right outfit. I don't know if this captain is going to be the top one, but it definitely looks like a solid outfit to me that you could rewear this summer while at Vegas.
Yes. So now we're going to move to a section of the program that I just made up what we're calling it. So you don't have any image for it, but this is what we're going to call the candy bag. And if like if you've heard podcasts or behind the scenes, or you happen to be a writer, a sitcom writer specifically, or a comedy writer, one of the things that these organizations do, right, they'll have alternate lines or alternate punchlines for the joke or alternate things to say on any kind of given bit. So this is our candy bag that has a whole bunch of bits of news that maybe we talk about, maybe we wouldn't. It just sort of depending on what the time is. So one of the things was that Elevate OS launched a package room in Denver. So package rooms have been around for a long time. As our as the locker industry gave way to the room industry, right? But what's great about this is that it's coming from a native app. So it's the company started with a native app, and they're expanding into this. So that's going to provide a more seamless experience for hopefully staff and residents. It's exciting. I have another candy bag from a regional manager here in Atlanta, the Atlanta area, Marcus Hill. He put a really nice thought piece that a lot of people responded to. It got some traction, which was just the reminder that do not wait for a seat at someone else's table. Just go build or make your own table. And I think that is not for just this industry, but for in general, that is such a great piece of advice to kind of carry with you. Eric, do you have a candy bag? Anything in your candy bag?
I do. My candy bag, although I do want to add a photo to it. We talked about
that's what you were working on.
That's what I was working on. As you can tell, my face was sort of with you, sort of not. As we drift
you didn't
off
hear me. That's okay.
As we drift off live sometimes while on meetings.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Nope, not that one. Nope, not this one. Let me see here. I'm gonna go back to this and replace this image with we never talked about the top April Fool's joke. And to be fair, I think we had one of the best off the cuff ones, but one of my favorite ones came from Grady Newman at Resi. They introduced a new tool, a new prospecting tool called the Squatter, filling your units faster than anything you've seen.
That's great. Yeah, there were some good ones out there. I also there's a few good ones that I really liked. I wonder if I can pull some of them up. Stephanie Oler, she did a nice bro conference that I thought kind of spoke really well. Mike Whaling launched a new company, right? 30 Leans. I think that was good. There was a few folks out there. I think
Yes.
What's nice to see is that that people embrace a little bit of levity. That's one of the core that's one of the core principles that kind of guides my multifamily weekend update is a little bit of levity. And, you know, a little bit of laughter that never, that helps reduce stress. So, you know, full circle moment, tying it back to our month, like when you're getting too stressed out, find something to laugh at. Maybe this show, maybe something else, but just find something to laugh at.
This is true. Well, we'll go. Well, maybe do you want to end the episode with a moment of Zen?
Let's do one final moment of Zen. That way, if people are like really annoyed with it, they can just shut it off. But if you're enlightened like Eric and I, then you could just take your moment and breathe. Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend, everyone.